return to Zhongshan Geely dealership because they've got a geometry here. I know it's really loud. We're gonna drive someplace else to get a little bit quieter, but I'm very excited to check out the Geometry A, otherwise known as the Jiha, here in China. But it's got some interesting lines and some interesting specs, and I can't wait to get out on the road and take a look. This is the Geometry A Pro. The Geometry A came out in April 2019 as a way for Geely to go after the Tesla Model 3. It's not quite a Tesla Model 3 in my opinion, but again, you're not going to be paying Tesla prices. Yeah, you're probably wondering why A, right? Well, they say that A is for Archimedes, which is the father of mathematical physics. Take a look at this car on the outside. It looks like a standard sedan. On the inside, however, it really gives it a modern, very futuristic feel. Now, if you don't know, Geometry has plans to launch 10 new vehicles by 2025. Right now, they only have 2. They have this one and the Geometry C. This is the Geometry C. This is their little crossover. It's good looking. It's very, very small. Similar interior. The original Geometry A came out in April of 2019. This one came out this year, has upgraded batteries, range, and a couple of other interesting features. There are a couple of design features that really catch your eye when you first look at this car. The first one is this completely blank grille. I don't like it. I wish it had a regular grille. It just looks more like a toy rather than a futuristic car. Maybe it'll grow on me. I know many electric vehicles don't need a grille, and so it's going to open up to a lot more design features in the future. But because it's got this flat front, I don't know, I feel like it's something that I had when I was a child. That being said, I do love the headlights on this thing. I think it looks aggressive and mean. But by far, my favorite design feature of the exterior is this area right here. This fender flare that jets out on the outside, making it look like it's got a lot of raw power, and it's going to drive this rear wheel drive car hot rod thing. It's going to move this thing forward. Unfortunately, it's just for looks. This is a front wheel drive car, but it still looks really cool. Imagine really, really thick tires on the back of this thing. Sitting in the back seat here, I've got enough headroom with this very, very large back window. This thing comes up a long way. And you can see this window just comes all the way up, and the roof starts in front of me before it goes onto the moonroof. Although it's not a large car, I do have plenty of legroom, and I don't feel cramped because of this giant rear window that comes up the back. This is interesting. I'd never noticed this before. Sitting in the driver's seat is super, super comfortable. It's got a very low dash, so great visibility all around. The cockpit feels very futuristic. I feel like I'm in like Tomorrowland at Disneyland, sitting in some kind of ride. However, I will say that the material quality in here is not what I came to expect from the Geelys. I expected something a little bit higher end. There's an awful lot of fabric wrapped plastic to try to hide the plastic. I love this design feature right here, these vents that just kind of look like they're exploding out of the dash. Very, very cool. And as you can see here, this is like a fabric that's just, there's no soft to it. It's just a fabric on top of the plastic. One of the biggest design features is supposed to be right here, but of course you cannot see it. Everyone's talked about it. In the dark, it's gorgeous, but during the day, you cannot see it. And then of course you have all these buttons here, including the drive modes. And most of the other ones I've seen, this actually opens the glove box, but this is just a blank switch in this one. I don't like blank switches. But I do like this little lip right here with the AC controls. It just kind of jets out at you a little bit in interesting angles. You know, Geely has some interesting angles in all their products, not just in the Geely, the Geometry, but also the Lynk & Co's as well. Again, at night, this lights up really, really cool, this touch. The screen is large and very responsive, easy to use. This is a common feature of seeing this tiny little screen that's actually on the steering column itself. Has, you know, general information you need, but ahead of me I have a heads-up display. Boy, when you open up the roof, there's so much light in here. It might as well just be one big piece of glass. There's only one little bar that goes across. The greenhouse in here is insane. Of course, it has lane keep assist and, you know, L2 drive characteristics. Driving the Geometry A Pro. It's my friend Sam. We're just gonna go down the street and kind of give a feel for it. The first thing I noticed is the steering wheel is very, very small in this thing. It's got a great feel to it. Very sporty, super, super quiet in here. The seats are very comfortable. It's got this kind of microfiber kind of cloth to it that's supposed to be water resistant. But of course, it being an electric car, it has that instant torque. So it's a lot of fun in and around the city. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, put your head back. You know, it's not as fast as a Tesla. but it's fast enough, man. It really is. Yeah, you could toss this around, not too bad. The suspension is very soft. Great turning radius. Wow, I'm able to make that turn pretty good. Not bad. I'm still not a huge fan of the dial shifter. Here you're starting to see in a lot of vehicles. I'd rather have a real shifter. That's just me personally. Backup camera, 360-degree camera, which is excellent. I do wish my car had that. So the designers say that this is a multi-dimensional, fluid, and alive design. And I get that, I really do. They're going for a lot. It's definitely a unique design in many, many ways. Can it beat the Tesla Model 3? I don't think so. But it does seem to have a place for, say, fleet vehicles. For example, I see the GAC Ion, which is a great car, similar in design, a little bit larger than this, but I see that a lot as a DD car, taxi cabs. That's where I see this vehicle positioned. That's the feel that I get for it, I guess. They are planning on selling this thing throughout Europe as Geely expands. It is already one of the largest Chinese manufacturers. It's one of the largest car manufacturers in the world, and they are expanding throughout the world. Don't be surprised if the Geometry A comes to your country in the future.